Hello everybody, Rob here from Let's Build Some Lego, and today we're going to continue on with our designing, we'll say, of our Lego town slash village. So we're going to start with we're going to continue on with our first plate here with our river. So this is our first, actually I'm going to call it a stream to be honest with you. I think the river, if I had to make a river, would have to be at least 8 more wide for it to be quote unquote a river. But yeah, so our stream is going. The next plan is to obviously extend it out this way. One of the things I want to do today is build up the banks a little bit. We're not going to really do much decorating, but we are going to do a lot of, well, just overall shaping of the ground. So we're going to bring in some more grass plates. There we go. I'm actually going to, can I favorite? Oh, look at that. I favored it. Nice. Cool. Okay. So we're going to set this one up here. So what I want to do is I kind of want to make it more, I guess you could say steeper, I guess, is the feeling I want to get with this. Whenever we make roads, for example, roads are going to be maybe 1 or 2 blocks above this, or they're actually going to be this plate. So we're going to have to kind of go with an idea with that. So what I want to do first is kind of make a decision as to where our high points are going to be. With our bank. So I'm going to pretty much put that one there and put this one there. So those are the 2 highest points I pretty much want, which is 2 plates, right? Or three plates tall or 1 brick tall. So that's where I want that to go. Over here, I want the highest point to be there, and I want the highest point to be there. Later on, we'll purify this and all that stuff, but in the meantime, let's get kind of designing up our overall idea. So we don't want this to be perfectly sloped up, right? We want it to have like some sort of like cliffiness to it. Kind of wish there was a better way I could maybe something like that. Looks good. And over here, something like that. So this is kind of like our outline, right? So we know kind of like this is how we want to kind of set things up. So what we're going to do here is just place plates every... I put something in a bad spot there. I think that fixed that. There we go. All right. So yeah, so we're going to try to kind of set this up a little bit. I don't want to make any slopes yet on the sides. The reason for it is actually very, very simple. I don't know what I'm building yet to the sides of this thing. So if I don't know what I'm building to the sides, I really don't want to do anything to the sides yet. Like, I'm not gonna profess to be like, you know, the best builder in Lego's history whatsoever. So I mean, I'll 100% admit to not knowing what I'm doing. Well, back here, I never actually... I think I do want this thing to go back a little further. So what we're going to do is do something like... Well, maybe this side to be a little bit more steeper, maybe. Oop. 3, 6. Yeah, it looks good actually. Oh. You there, you there. And then just for giggles, you there. Don't want it to be too round. So now what we're going to do, just kind of flesh out this level. Later on, we're definitely going to go back and like tweak this thing and change it up every now and then, like in spots. I mean, this is definitely just a first pass. Just want to kind of make it look a little random. And I think that's pretty good. Now you're probably going to be a little bit more difficult. So you there. A lot of people try for realism and stuff like that. I'm just going for something that looks cool. There we go. So we have the one side kind of done. Like I said, we're not going to really worry too much about like decorating it or anything. But I think that's pretty much where I want to go. Now what I've decided to do as well here is kind of change this up a little bit. And just kind of pre-place. I think that looks a lot better now. Oh, wow. Just boom. Make this side maybe a little taller. Make it like it's kind of going up to a river or something, or something a little higher maybe. No, I'll have to think about that. Yeah, let's get to our plates here. Kind of flush out what we're gonna do. So do we want this? You know what? Yeah, let's kind of do something like that. So almost like what we did with the river earlier. Later on we can do like grays and blacks and stuff for like little rocks. I like the way that actually is starting to look. Interesting. Okay. Nope. No, you. There we go. That's 3, 6, that's 7. There's no 7s, but there's a 6. So we'll put the 6th there. We'll put the 3 here. And do another 3 there. It's kind of funny. A lot of times you're like, okay, I don't want it to look too unrealistic with like, you know, little jagged edges here and there. But at the same time, you're looking at it and you're like, I want it to look different. But at the same time, like, I don't want to use too many, like, for example, these 3 pieces here. I don't want to use many of them. But I end up using them anyways. Yeah, I almost used another one there. You know what? I'm kind of happy with that as well. Like later on, we're going to add like plants and all that stuff. We're just going to hide most of this. And we're actually going to be going back, and as we add plants, modify it. So we want to basically get our base down first as to what we're doing and how we're doing it. And then we'll get to our next stage. So how are we going to do this one? I mean, you like that. There. That's going to be our overall idea for the U. This doesn't look so good when it's being rendered like this, but when we go to render the image, it'll look a lot better, which we'll do at the end of the video today. So this so we have a good feeling of what it looks like. There's nothing worse than doing a lot of work on something and then having it look just horrible. Throw a 1 in right there. And there. And there. And there. And there. And there. Okay. I don't know why, but this doesn't say that screams put a 6 there for some reason. Yeah, I think that's good too. Alright, so that's our general. Like I said, we're going to come back here later and kind of tweak a lot of this stuff. Like we're going to modify a lot of it to set up our plants and stuff. But our next one is going to be, I want some trans blue. We're going to go with plates. We're going to go with the 1x4s. And we're going to go anyhow and actually set up our stream now. A lot of people use the flat 2s, but I find the flat 4s are a lot easier to get a hold of. They also look a lot better. It gives you a more distinct feel. And as I've said many times, the long-term plan for this channel is to actually build this. So I figured you guys would want to be part of the, this is the start, the idea, right? The planning. Every time I see someone showing their own little town or whatever, it's always, hey, come take a look at the town. Here it is. Boom. But you never know how they got to that point or why they got to that point. Like they'll talk about it and kind of give you a general idea as to their methodology, but you never actually see like the design going in. So you can do 2 4s there. So I thought, let's do something a little different. Let's actually do that. Turn you sideways and go there. And then we're going to do a whole bunch of 1s. Should only take us a few minutes to render. It should take us like a minute to render this today. And we'll get a good look to see if it looks good. There we go. So there is our first part of our river. Sorry, stream. So the next plan will be to continue. We're going to split this way. Another plate this way, another mills plate, and build up from there. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a render. We're not going to do an animation render. We're going to do a photorealistic render. We're going to go to landscape. Let's set it like that. very high render quality. Transparent will be fine. Lighting is fine. We want it to use my GPU. See if I can't use both. Camera setup is fine. UV degradation, showing that the parts have been like, whatever. Interesting. Scratches. That's very interesting. 920 by 1080 is fine. Yeah, photorealistic. Let's render that. We're going to render it as stream test 1. We're going to throw it on our desktop. We're going to save it, and it should export it, and then it will render it. So this is usually where it takes a little while. The actual program itself kind of starts to crunch a lot, which is really good. I like it. Leave it there. You can usually go back into here now and actually do stuff, but because I'm using my GPU, it probably won't work as good. I'm going to save what we've done here as well. Go back into the renderer. And I'm going to try and make it full screen if I can actually click on it. There we go. So it's going to render it, and we're going to be able to take a look and see just how good of, I think it is. Now it'll take a lot quicker now that I've kind of maximized the screen and all that stuff. I got nothing else running on my computer when I do these renders. So this will give us a good idea of how it looks, how it feels. So we're going to do a render kind of looking down on it first. Then we're going to do a render from the sides. Possibly, depending on how much time we're in this for. But I like how it's very photorealistic. Like you can actually see the way these things sit. It's really impressive. We missed the spot right there. But this is a good way to see, you know, if your creation actually looks good. And if you like the way it looks, and if you want to tweak anything, modify anything, change anything. Apparently the program is now added in an animator, which would be kind of cool. So you can actually do some Lego animation. Yeah, there's another one missing there, so we got 2 missing. So I'll have to finish fixing that up in the next video as well. But in the next video, we're going to be continuing. We're going to be adding on another spot. I'm going to decide between this episode and the next one just what it's going to be. My theory is that it's going to be a little bit more rougher water, which I'm going to have to try and figure out how to design that. I want the water possibly also to be one level up, one more level up higher, which I'm gonna have to try and figure out, because I know what I want for the third spot in our build here. So I gotta kind of come up with a good idea for some rougher water. It's really good, other than the 2 pieces I missed there and there, which I always think is funny. Like I'll zoom in and be like, oh, okay, they're there, and there. So we can click it. We can add in our blocks now. And save. So those won't be in our render, but luckily for us, we've caught it. It's a good way to catch your mistakes too. And look at your stuff and decide whether you like the feel and the look of something, which is good. And we got our bottom right corner done. Might flesh out this spot maybe a little bit more. Maybe not. Overall, I like the way the water feels, the way the water looks. Fortunately, you can't change your angles and all that stuff. Well, when the render's done, but it is very, very good. So we're 1/4 of the way through here. And it's also rendering a lot of stuff out here and out here, but we have a black background, so it will be able to render that stuff a lot easier. The only problem is that once it's done this, it will do all the stuff around the outside. So I hope it gets done quick. I just finished my coffee. There we go. So I mean, it's rendering in this general area. There we go. So now we should see this go up a lot faster. So yeah, there is our first render of our design. What I really like about these is you can actually render these for yourself, print them off, or even just keep them on a, on a tablet like I am on my iPad. So when I go to design them, or when I go to build them, I can actually just look at the picture and go off it pretty easily. And later on, you can also set up your own steps and stuff like that. Which I don't know if I'm going to do that, but then my plan will be to actually build this thing from the top down and then just do my directions backwards. But yeah, it looks good. Other than the two studs we missed. Probably going to do maybe something around here. Later on, we'll add contrasting colors. Some grays, some blacks, some whites. Let's go full screen. So yeah, it looks pretty. It doesn't look good when you zoom in. We're going to minimize that. Stream test. So overall, it looks pretty good. Might do something with this little open area. Then again, open areas aren't bad. We can do like a little bit of a pathway maybe down this way. Kind of like down into like over here. Maybe take out this stud and maybe do another smaller path over here. So we have a path kind of coming down like this and then here. And maybe do something in the middle of this little section of the river. Maybe like a walking bridge, maybe. But the plan is to do another stream to the left of this one. It's going to sit here. It's going to be more rougher water. So this is more of a calmer water. It's going to be rougher waters, higher level waters. And then the one after that is going to be a bit of a surprise if I can come up with a good design idea for it. I don't know yet. It's going to be something hard to do. Even the rougher water one. I don't know how to do that. Never done it before. Never did this before. But you guys are learning as I'm learning. And we're all learning together. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.